Hey, you there. Just wanted to let you know you are now listening to the AK Mindset Podcast.
Oh, welcome back, guys, to the AK Update, episode 47. You know what we do, usual topics of interest, entertaining you through the airwaves every week. With me is the lads, the mandem. What's good, guys?
Yo, back like we never left. Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. Another week, another topics to talk about, another readings and experiences. Yeah, man, I'm ready for this one.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode, and I hope you enjoy listening to this one.
Yeah, man. Jumping straight in as we do, I think it's only right that we start with, traditional format. We can jump into the news. Daniel, if you want to start us off, please.
So, McDonald's is turning its fictional anime counterpart, WC Donald's, into reality. So they're teaming up with Studio Period to publish some anime shorts. So you're gonna have a McDonald's anime, it seems. So from the February the 26th.
What? We're getting McDonald's anime. What world we live in, bro?
It feels like everybody's getting an anime apart from me. Where's my anime adaptation? I know I haven't finished my journey yet, but still, if McDonald's is gonna get one, at least let the man then get one.
Oh, fair enough.
Do you know if it's a long one? It's like a weekly release, full on, just all episodes out, 5 episodes special. Who asked for this, actually? Why am I even trying to entertain this? I'm sorry, guys. Who asked for this? I finally did it.
I don't know. I can't even answer the question for you, bro.
So it's going to be 4 shorts, it looks like. First one's called The Race to McDonald's, a rivalry strong enough to withstand the test of time as our 2 heroes embark on an epic race to McDonald's. And then there's 3 other episodes coming out on the following weeks: Love from Across the Booth, Space Frontier 3000, and The Wisdom of the Source.
Do you say Space Frontier?
Wisdom of the Source sounds like a cold line, though.
Yes, Space Frontier. A team of McDonald's pilots must protect the last McChicken nugget against an ominous force.
Hey, that force is probably a bunch of kids.
I respect the hustle. That's all I can say. It's gonna make them bank, that's for sure.
It's true.
Imagine the Happy Meals. Yeah, they smart for that.
They are. I respect them. They're trying to venture into different lanes. Everybody has to try different things. If it bangs like some of those YouTube kind of anime recreation for SpongeBob, I might tap in just to see, have a cheeky laugh. But if not, yeah, just one of those things.
Yeah.
If there's no other thoughts, and now I'll jump into the second bit of news, if that's cool with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I saw this last couple of days. DC released Batman Return movie visuals.
Hey.
Movie visuals. And it looks like it's getting the Spider-Verse treatment. The visuals were nice. They were very clean. There was a lot of excitement in the comment section. People saying, you know what? They might be there for this. The hype could be real. Obviously, right now we don't know what is going to come off of this, but there is potential. What do you man think?
They said no to that.
They said no to that?
Yeah, they're showing you what they pitched, and DC said no.
Why? Why did they say no?
That's part of the topic I put, because they're fumbling the bag. I don't literally, because they said no, then they did the visuals for it and sent it to them, and they said maybe. How is it not 100% yes?
I'm baffled. I'm baffled.
Yeah.
It should be a yeah.
Yeah.
You might as well pivot to that then. Tell us more.
I can't remember the last time DC made a good business decision, because you can't say, because it's not even recent. They pitched it a while ago, but they said no, because it's the creators of Spider-Man. It's the creators. There's not even just the Spider-Man treatment. It's the creators of the Spider-Verse.
Full on. Wow.
Full on that pitched it to them, and they said no at first. They showed them the visuals. They said maybe, and it's funny because after that we got Flash. You said no to that. I said yes to the Flash movie. Said yes to the Aquaman movie. I am confused and bewildered. I don't understand what DC is doing. No, we always complain about Marvel because it's in the front, because DC are the worst bag fumblers in cinematic history. Because what do you mean no or maybe?
It's crazy that they don't want to give people what the fans want. Like the fans said, we like this, but they're like, do you know what? We're not going to listen to you guys, because even though you're the people who buy tickets and you're the people who, basically dictate the market, we're not going to listen to you guys. We think maybe you like something like this instead. Like it's really backwards thinking. I don't know if it's like, is it ego thing? Like,
I don't know. Because it just seems like an obvious, like, what you see the success of the Spider-Verse, how well written it was, good, how like the difference of animation style, like it was so good. And the same creators said, we have a bag making machine for you in this, and you say no. I don't know. I actually have no answer to that. Daniel, what do you think? Maybe you can put logic into this.
So this is the first time I'm hearing about it, so I'm kind of just trying to catch up based on what you guys are saying. I don't know. I guess they just maybe they just didn't have the capacity to do it. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it seems like they just weren't able to do it for some reason. But I think the pitch made them pick up interest because of how good it was. But I feel like this might be more Warner Brothers. They've kind of been moving away from the animation. I'm not sure if they're with HBO or they're different, but I know they've been like canceling a lot of animated shows like within the last few years. But to be honest, I don't know. Like from the art, it looks good, but I don't know. Maybe they just need to wait for more information.
Yeah, because I got a statement here. Says, before we pitched, they warned us that there is absolutely no way we can do a Beyond movie, but they loved our enthusiasm. We pitched the outline for the entire film, and what side has a never turned into a maybe.
Okay, so it still might happen.
Yeah, so it's still a maybe. So it might happen, but I don't know. I think I'm confused on why it's not like an absolute yes. But you saying like, you know what, maybe just trying to move away from that kind of animated scene, which I don't know why they want to, but hey, it's that business decision to make, I guess.
Business decisions. Sometimes they have to be made. I guess if it's not in the plan, in the big vision for their corporation, maybe you can't blame them. But obviously, we want that. We want that.
Don't even whisper it. We want that. Are you listening, bro? We want that. We need that. I think a lot of people will be happy to see that, especially if it's the same people that made the Spider-Verse. Trusted. They have a good CV right there. So the possibilities of that being a bad movie or series is very low. So it seems like an obvious yes. But hey, hopefully down the line, that maybe turns into a yes. Fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah, man. Fingers crossed. You can only hope. You might as well continue with I see you have a couple other topics.
Yes. I guess keeping it in terms of animated series, I saw some interesting takes. I was like, you know what? Let me bring it to the pod as a topic. It says that maybe the new norm should be live actions, like normal movies, being turned into like animated series, and that should be the new norm. So stuff like animated series or animes being turned into live actions. So something like Goodfellas or Sopranos or Game of Thrones getting turned into like an animated series instead. Maybe that people should start looking at that. So what do you guys think about that kind of thought process?
Do you want to go for first, Dan, or should I?
Yeah, sure. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should just come up with original concepts that if you want it to be live action, it's live action. Or if you want it to be an animation, it should be an animation. It shouldn't be rehashing stuff that's already been done in a different format. I think it's just I'm not a fan of when they turn animations into live action, so I'm not gonna turn around and be a fan of the opposite. So yeah, I think you should just come up with original concepts rather than just retreading old water.
I respect that.
I too agree with that. I too think I've seen this topic a lot over the last week and a bit, given the fact that obviously Avatar came out, but and obviously other news in regards to other live actions. But generally speaking, like, we're making these creative minds be very kind of lazy, and I know there's a lot of people out there who would love for, instead of us getting something that's already rehashed and another iteration of a concept we already viewed, there's loads of people who are, you know, very creative and trying to push their ideas and are not well known, and they should be given a chance. Like, I if it's here, I would watch it, but I'm not somebody who is kind of I'm not somebody who's excited by the fact that potentially everything I've watched already can either become an animated series or vice versa, create into a live action. There's only a few exceptions when, just because of my relationship with the series, I can't not be helped but to when I see it and people are excited about it, I'll probably clock in, you know what I mean? But if it was a choice, I would say new things, man. Like, it's needed.
Yeah. I think I'm on the same page as you guys. I saw a funny tweet that kind of, not related to this, but I saw it like a few minutes after I saw the tweet saying about the live action to animation. So it says that, can we start hiring creative people, please? And that was kind of links to the next topic we're going to talk about, because it feels like creativity is just dead. It's like it just focuses on like how to make more money, I feel, and it's kind of sad because our childhood seemed so creative. There's so many movies, so many ideas, and now we're just making the same movie but in a different font, basically. But yeah, but even situations like, you know, people like don't want to see the Moana 2 because they feel like it doesn't make sense to have a part 2 of the first movie. But I rather that than a live action of Moana, because just because the big name of Dwayne The Rock Johnson is there doesn't mean there needs to be a live action for that movie. I rather a part 2.
I thought it was fake. I thought it was fake.
What was fake?
I thought
Moana 2?
Yes.
Oh no, it's real, it's confirmed.
Yeah.
People are 50-50 about it. I don't know. I'm part of the crew that's like, it doesn't seem like it needs to be a part 2, but I rather that than a live action. Or how about, you know what's a bad idea? Make a new movie. No, there's a Nigerian princess there waiting for you. There's a Ghanaian princess there waiting for you. There's an Indian princess there waiting for you. But just be creative, bruv. There's never-ending options for you guys to do, but you want to do, like, you know what? How about we do a live action of Shrek instead? Why?
Saying that, it'll be kind of cold. Shrek live action. The haters they'll hate to see it, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Bringing Donkey to life.
Don't give this people idea. Beg you, the name of God. You know how big donkeys are in real life? They want an ogre next to it, bigger than that already. Yeah. But it feels like repetitive when we keep talking about live actions. But speaking of, guess who's getting a new live action? Apparently, Naruto. And I think I know the answers, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Daniel, what do you think about this news of Naruto live action?
Don't care. Not watching. Move on.
As expected. What about you, Michelle?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want it, but I will watch it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if it's there, I'll watch it. I don't want them to make it, but if they make it, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. But then I might reinforcing, why they continue to make these stuff.
Because people are, I don't know what, it's not hate watching, it's not pity watching, it's just like it's there watching.
Yes, that's me. I'm that individual. I'm like, is there? Okay, let me just watch it.
Because as long as they keep making money, they're gonna keep making this series, and all of a sudden we have a Code Geass live action. So please, I just think it's funny. Like, I feel like there's so many more series that can translate into live action better, and they still don't do that. But it's Naruto, Dragon Ball, One Piece, Avatar. It doesn't matter. I'm not there for it. Honestly, I love Naruto. I love the big three. If they said anything about like making new series of manga, I'll be there. But live action, I just think I've gone to the stage of where Daniel is right now. I just don't think I'll be there for any kind of live action at this point. I think I've crossed that threshold at this point now. But please, Daniel and Rizal, join us so they can stop making it. You're the one reason that I keep making it. You know that. Just you.
I am the reason. How am I supporting this huge industry and I'm not even rich? It's not making sense. I hear it.
Yeah, but I think Daniel's right. It's more people who are just like, oh, let me just see what it is. I think the company translate that as, oh, they like it. Which seems obvious. If you go on the internet anywhere, any kind of social media, you can see the reception there. But I think the more people watch it, the more money lines their pocket, and that's all they care about. They don't care about the fans or the creativity.
Yeah,
There's a bit of a strain. But yeah, those are my topics. What are you going to say?
I was going to say they get free press from just the general conversation around the subject matter. You know what I mean? There's free hype around it. Like, so it catches people's attention. So they'll keep doing their thing, innit? Sadly. Those are some good topics, though. Some very good topics.
Appreciate it.
Going to move into my overreaction a little bit. This one, kind of random. It's about conversation about localization in regards to animes or any medium that is, comes to any, mostly European countries. That's where we mostly change them a bit. But do you, man, feel that how do I express this? Do you, man, feel that localization and really, apart from, actually providing people with better context in regards to the language that is used and stuff like that, do you think when animes are drastically transformed, it's a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think that it takes away from the anime as an art form as itself? Like, you wouldn't get a Picasso painting and change it just because, in this country, this fruit is this or something like that. You know what I mean?
I guess I think that's a deep question. I can't lie to you, because you start thinking about like freedom of creativity. Then when you talk about drastic changes, like what do you mean? Like what is the drastic change per se? And yeah, I think there's a fine line. So it just depends on the creativity and the creator of the animation or the anime itself. And there's a loaded discussion because, like, for example, if someone in England makes like an anime per se, people don't see it as an anime because it doesn't come from Japan and it's not using the same animation style. But the English person can say, no, what, this is anime. Then there's a whole argument about that. Is it drastically different? It comes from England, they're not speaking Japanese at all. The base, like the sub is basically English and everything's dubbed to other languages. Does that make it anime. It doesn't transform it. So I think it depends on the person truly. For me, I don't know. I can't even, because I don't even like to do the argument of is Avatar anime or not. I just know what I enjoy it. That's all I care about. If it's enjoyable, that's all it is to me. But people take the purity of anime a lot more seriously than others. So I think that's my 2 cents. It's basically a politician's answer. No, yes or no.
It was well said. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was well said. This guy, you're going far. What about you, Dan?
I think it just depends on maybe the degree of localization. I think you have to have it to some extent, because especially when it comes to some of the terms used or jokes, there's sometimes if you don't understand the culture, then it's not gonna land for the general Western audience. So if you can just convert it into something that's more equivalent, then I can understand why they do that. But when it comes to localization, I think it's more case by case basis. I can't really talk about it on a general scale. So it just depends. I think most times I've seen it, it's been all right. I haven't really, not many examples come to mind where I think it's been overdone. But I think as long as the essence and the message of the series is kept, it's fine.
Yeah, I was definitely in like similar mindset, because I was like, I think if the person who's producing or like created that anime, that series, that art is happy in the end, and they're like, okay, you've made the changes, but at the heart of it, what the passion I put into it and the message I wanted to get across is not disrupted and not minimized or etc., then it's good. So like, but I'm just scared that obviously one day we come to a case where people just want to really control like everything and push their kind of values and mindset onto a medium that is from a separate country, which is kind of complex and stuff like that. But I'm happy that I was able to get you guys' kind of reaction or take on that topic. It wasn't really an overreaction or underreaction, just a reaction. But yeah.
I was going to ask, before we move on, sorry, quickly, I was going to ask, because from that point of view, what do you guys think of, like, there's a series called Dog N-Word. So, like, what kind of localization is that? Because if you translate it to like because it's a manga, but if it gets translated to Japanese, then it's like a whole lot of problem. What do you even transform the meaning or like the the title of the manga to the manga where it's from Japan?
That's a massive. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would first have to just know what the story's about. And then after I read the story, I'll be like, bro, was the name necessary?
Yeah. That's the one thing that just came to mind when you were talking about it. Because like, well, people say it's a good series. He says it's a manga, the creator, but he's an American.
I see.
And obviously uses like basically what people think is like an American phrase. But it's a manga. And if it's sold in a Japanese kind of, not restaurant, I was going to say restaurant, a Japanese bookstore, then how are you even and they want to read it because it's manga, obviously, and it looks interesting. It's like, oh, what is this called? A dog? There's just a whole lot of problems going into that as well, so I thought it was a bit funny.
No, it is. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't even know where to go from there.
Yeah. It's a mazza, isn't it? So I think that's when it comes, like, if you blow the line too much, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But they think can still be a good series nonetheless. But
good.
I think the line is just too blurred at that point.
No, for sure. Moving on to your hot take then. Do you wanna...
Oh, yes. This one's a bit of a two-pronged hot take, kind of, because I went back to it and I got like an answer, but also had more questions, if that makes sense. So basically, it says people who read manga are just impatient. And obviously, someone said that people who read manga, full stop, are impatient. And people go on to him and said, "Oh, what do you mean people who read manga are impatient? Because I want to read a series. I've never read the anime before. Blah 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 blah." Because the guy said that every time I ask I have a opinion on something, and it asks people to give him like explanation, and people say just read the manga or just wait till it gets animated. It's like it doesn't care. Just because you guys are impatient to read it doesn't mean impatient to watch it. Then doesn't mean I should like get lectured by you guys. Then people were like, we're not impatient. We just read it before the anime came out, or we just knew the series before. I just didn't want to watch the anime. I watched the first episode of the anime. I don't think it was good, and I read the manga and it was better. So people were not understanding where the impatience came from. But that's when the real hot take comes in, where he says, obviously, I'm not thinking about you. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about people who started the series, finished the first season, for example, and couldn't wait for the next season and read the manga. I think you people are impatient, which can be a crazy statement. You can think it's true or not true, but I think it's what he said when not in the comments that made me say, huh? He basically said that anime is better than manga, and he doesn't see how a manga can give you like a jumping off the chair experience, he said.
This guy chose violence. he came out swinging.
So yeah, a manga cannot give you a jumping off out of your chair experience. There's nothing like in the book that can give you that kind of, oh my god, like seeing like a devil beat like a high-end Nomi.
Well, someone should have told him he lacks imagination.
So what do you mind think about that hot take?
I'll go first then. I think at some point everybody kind of has practiced some form of patience, whether you're watching something, because obviously you don't have immediate access to it always, especially with manga. You don't know when the person picked up the series. They could have been reading it week to week, month to month. We know how unpredictable some manga series can be in regards to their releases. So sometimes you have to practice a high level of patience that is, higher than the average. So I kind of disagree with them, but then also I see what they were trying to say in regards to the aspect of if you started reading a manga or you started watching the anime and then you start to read it immediately just because you couldn't wait. But I wouldn't put that down to impatient. I put that down to like the reason we watch these series and read these series, the sheer joy, the sheer passion that it kind of invokes, and like the sheer, so gripping that you had to go back every time. You had to go and like you couldn't wait. You had to go for whenever the anime was going to release again. You had to go and read it and get a little taste of the excitement it gave you. That's passion. I don't know how you can become against that. That's the reason why we do a lot of things. That's the reason we work towards stuff, like so we can be passionate about the things we love, passionate about the things around us. So I feel like it's just a unique perspective they have on it, and everybody's allowed their perspective, so I can't hate too much. In regards to the last thing they said, anime, but like I don't know, like obviously they're two different mediums, so I don't feel like there's any need to actually compare them. Like you can compare a manga to a book or some poetry or something like that. You have to compare within its category, because they're supposed to do two different things. But there's a lot of mangas who have that jaw dropping, beautiful art style and very creative with how they do their stuff, that makes the mangas seem very dynamic and action packed. So like I don't know, each their own. I don't really agree with it.
Fair enough. Yeah. What about you, Dan?
Just bad all around. So first thing he said, what was the first thing he said? Talking about if you're reading the manga, you're impatient or whatever. That's just silly because, like you said, if you've read the series or you found it before, then that's how you found it. Or if you just prefer to read, or if the anime is bad, then I can understand why you'd read it. So like, there's many reasons why people might decide to read something instead of watch it. Maybe it's actually because it's quicker to read rather than watch, and you don't actually have time to sit down and watch 20 minutes when you can read something in probably 5. So that's the first thing. And then anime versus manga, that's just redundant debate. It's just based on your preference, so I have no issue there. And then when he's talking about, oh, you don't know, or the person, they're saying, oh, the manga can't give you the same emotion. He just doesn't read books, or he doesn't read any kind of literature. So I'm just not even gonna go into that because that just tells me what that person intakes. Because you just tell me you don't read books, because like, if you think the only form of incitement can come from an animation or TV, I don't know, just makes me think you're very small-minded. So hopefully that guy learns how to read and he can actually read some good series.
Learns how to read is wild.
So we've got some good recommendations. We've been saying there. Just keep up to date with the update.
I'm telling you, yeah, it was a crazy, because I was reading that, but I wasn't angry or anything. I just thought like, this is a very interesting perspective. Because what do you mean a manga can't give you like a jump off the chair? Is what he said. Then someone says, "Oh, you clearly haven't read. This is like, oh, I find out how to believe." So he literally doubled down. Like, I found out how to believe that a series can get like, oh my god, give you an exciting moment. Your heart is beating faster, and I was like, you haven't read amazing books. You have not read amazing manga, comic books, nothing like that. It seems crazy to me. And people were like giving examples of like, you know, in the manga for JJK about Gojo versus Sukuna, and how like week to week people are going crazy about that. And which is a very good example because people are going crazy about that. And that was simply manga. That people had to wait week to week for that as well. It's never like a completed kind of thing. So I think it's just crazy that you think people just can't have a... It's fine if you don't. I don't think I'm going to care about too much about that. That's just you. Maybe you, like Rogel said, your imagination is just do. But say that other people can't. I find it hard to believe you have a experience about another thing. It's crazy to me. I thought that was just like the wild take of the week. And when it comes to anime versus manga, like it's a tale as old as time. I think, you know, I have the opinion of like the best anime is better than the best manga to me. Obviously, some people can find it different, and people enjoy things differently. Like, for example, people who like art, like kind of the manga art as well, reading manga is going to be a lot different to them than people who don't like that kind of, are not deep into that kind of art, artistic point of view. And people like animation, for example, are going to love animation obviously a lot more. So it's perspective. Then being impatient, I just think is stupid, quite honestly. There's no point being even trying to be nice. It's, what do you mean you're impatient? There's so many reasons. The anime is trash, Tokyo Ghoul. It's taking too long to come out, Dohoro. I just like to do both. You can do that as well. I'm going to read Vinland Saga and watch Vinland Saga and experience it twice. Also good. Blank Canvas, the anime has not even come out yet, so I'm going to read that. There's too many reasons for you to be this dumb. But yeah, that was my one. That was the take of the week. That was a bit crazy.
It was an elite take. I appreciate you bringing it to the table and letting us conversate about it. So moving on to the last thing before we end. Obviously, we're going to get the guys' weekly watches and readers. Readers not even a word, but guys, I just be flowing like that.
Put it in the dictionary now.
Put it in there, readers. Yes. Who wants to take it away first, or?
Might as well. Yes, this week I've been reading and watching a lot, to be fair, but specifically the one I want to point out, I said reading properly Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint manhwa, because I said I was back in my manhwa bag. So yeah, that's been a good read so far. Yeah, Buchi told me about this a long time ago after I stopped reading Solo Leveling for the first time. So what should I do next? And he said this. So I'm glad to get into it properly this time. And it's been great. The main character is refreshing, I say. And the characters are interesting. So nothing too crazy or groundbreaking, but I'm enjoying the journey. And yeah, that's me. I've to be fair, I watched Avatar as well. Not the live action, but like I just went back to for nostalgia's sake to watch the original animated series, and it was pretty good. And apart from that, almost completed what's it called? Physical 100 as well. That's crazy.
Oh, let's go.
I mean, last episode, people in the finals. I didn't expect some people there, and yeah, it's a good series. And I think I'm just in time for the second season as well. It's coming out in March, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, that's my reads and watch.
I'll quickly go then. I watched the live action Avatar. Well, I have like 2 episodes left. Quite enjoyable for what it was. I've seen a lot of different kind of conversation around the topic, but I'm a very easygoing guy, so yeah, I didn't mind it. There were some things I, kind of disliked, and something I really liked, but all around way better than what we first got, which is a positive. And I'm kind of enjoying my mini K-drama break. As when you stop watching K-drama for a bit, you realize how much time you have on your hands, because that takes away. But maybe in the next 2 weeks I'll be back in my bag. But yeah, that's me.
So I watched the recent Demon Slayer movie that came out. It's just it wasn't a movie. It was just 2 episodes. So last season's episode, first episode for the new season. Was what I expected. Some cool scenes, but nothing to write home about. Probably wouldn't have watched it if my friend didn't invite me, but yeah. I would say just wait for it to come out online. Don't waste your time going to the cinema.
You might have saved me. I was gonna go on Monday, like after work, just quickly after work, cinema.
Yeah, I heard people were angry about that because they expected it to be like a moving train kind of deal.
They literally told you.
They fell for it last time as well, which is stupid, and they fell for it again. It tells you what it's going to do. It says it's not hiding it.
Yeah,
it's in the poster. It's on every kind of social media post, and you fell for it, and you're getting angry. It's like, well, it's just 2 episodes. They said that. They said that. But yeah, I wasn't planning to watch it anyway, to be fair. If I was going to watch it, it's just because if you asked me to, and if I was free, I would have done it. But apart from that, yeah, I'm willing to just be patient and wait for it to come out.
Patience is a virtue, as they say. And that kind of brings us nicely to the end of this week's AK update. Really appreciate you guys chilling and hanging with us as we continue to stay consistent, coming up to a year of AK weekly update episodes, which is crazy. Any last words as we close, guys?
I would say just from recent discussions, please go to your local Waterstones and pick a book. It can be a comic book, a manga, non-fiction, fiction. Just read a book and don't be ignorant. Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
Nothing really to add, but like Ed said, read a book and maybe just get off Twitter. There's too much stupid stuff on there.
I can co-sign that. Yes, guys, we'll see you next week. Look after yourself and peace.
Deuces.